take it for granted. Rufus takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carryout, or schedule a catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
Need service on your home air conditioner? Call the company Lincoln has counted on since 1952, Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. No matter what brand you have, when you need service, you want Bryant's experienced pros working for you. Friendly NATE certified technicians with the tools, training, and technology to restore your comfort quickly. No matter what brand, when you need service, just call Bryant. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is Adam Carriker on The Ticket.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, first and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome, everybody, to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. Let me adjust a couple of things here real quick. All right. I hope you missed me. I hope you had a great week last week. I hope you have a great week this week. I'm back as I am almost each and every Monday from noon to 1 p.m., the fastest hour in radio each and every week throughout Lincoln and Omaha, the great state of Nebraska. Join me each and every Monday, noon to 1 p.m., have lunch. Hopefully something somewhat intelligente comes out of my mouth and we have a good time, talk some Husker football, Husker sports in the meantime and in the process. And I don't know if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not, you can listen. I'll describe it for you. I'm wearing a V-neck, you can tell. And I was once told by a guy I was drafted with out of Tennessee, Jonathan Wade, a defensive back, third-round pick, who joined me with the then St. Louis Rams. He wore V-necks all the time. I asked him one day, I said, why are you wearing a V-neck all the time? He's like, it's like I could have dressed up, but I just chose not to. So I guess I could have dressed up, but I chose not to because my mom always said I had a face for radio anyways. If you're watching me on YouTube, I do apologize because I have that face for radio. But we got a whole bunch of fun stuff to talk about today. We're going to talk about Nebraska basketball. Then we're going to talk what kind of offense might Matt Rule and his staff run. And what all does that depend on? It's not necessarily what type of offense, but what does it depend on? Because it depends. If we go two tights, do we have two good tight ends to run that offense? Does he want to go 13 personnel, one running back, three wide receivers? Is somebody besides good old Billy Kemp going to step up so we can put more wide receivers on the field? Do we have to protect our starting quarterback, Jeff Sims, who's the projected starter, most likely going to be the guy at the helm this season? Do we have to protect him a little bit more? Because do we have a backup in place? Do we have an offensive line that's blocking better, adequately? How much do they improve? Do they improve? What happens there? All right, then we're going to bring on Andy Janovich, one of my personal modern-day favorite Huskers. All right, a guy who played that good old position known as fullback. I went on to play for the Denver Broncos, Cleveland Browns. And a guy that I think is just an all-around good dude. He helped me at one of my football camps a couple of years ago. All right. And then I got a few options for how we might close out the show. Okay. We can talk kickoff times that were just announced, okay, for some of the games in college football, including Nebraska versus Colorado, Nebraska versus Iowa on Black Friday. You can probably guess what that one is. Probably guess what Colorado is as well. Okay, and there's a few things I've not given my thoughts on simply because the show has been somewhat sporadic due to holidays, due to baseball tournaments, things of that nature. Casey Thompson going to Florida Atlantic. We'll spend a bunch of time, but just want to touch on it. Logan Smothers, where did he end up? Okay, and things of that nature. So those are the things we're going to be talking about today on the fastest hour in radio. All right, noon to 1 p.m. each and every Monday right here on the Ticket. Before I dive into all that, all right, you've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money. Buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info. Call 402-467-1627. Now, as always, I want to get to your questions. I want to hear what you fine folks have to say. So call or text to 402-464-5685. Get your questions answered right here, right now on this show by yours truly. Again, call or text 402-464-5685. I try to get to as many questions as I possibly can each and every week. But first, let's talk a little Nebraska basketball. All right. And full disclosure, the producer for the show, good old Rico, texted me last night. He's like, do you want to just stick with football? Can you talk about other things that aren't football? Can you comprehend something else in the world? No, he didn't say it like that. No, he was just asking what I wanted to talk about. It's interesting. Football, basketball, baseball / softball. Very comfortable talking about those things. Ever growing, ever learning about volleyball, track and field, things of that nature. I love talking about all those things. I have a pretty good knowledge on most of them. I'm not going to say everything. Ice hockey, out of my realm. Gymnastics, I don't know. I respect those sports. Trust me. I've watched my kids do it a million times. Doesn't mean I know what I'm talking about when it comes to those things, but there are sports I do feel comfortable with. Football, baseball / softball, track and field. Probably the ones I'm the most comfortable with. Volleyball, ever growing knowledge. Hopefully that improves quickly. Let's talk a little Nebraska basketball. All right, they got some news recently. Keisei Tominaga is going to be returning to Nebraska basketball. And this is the guy, 6'2", 175-pound guard, 22 years old. He averaged 13.1 points per game a year ago. Honorable mention, all Big Ten, academic all Big Ten. All right. Also in his past, the 2022 Japan Senior National Team, 2020 Olympian as well, Japan 3x3 basketball, and a 3-time Nebraska Scholar athlete. Okay. This is a guy who will, I believe, be a senior. Okay. Had he been, he tested the NBA draft projections for himself. Makes sense. Okay. College basketball, college football, college sports, business. These athletes are now businessmen. Whether people realize that or not, I think people are realizing that more and more with NIL, transfer portal, things of that nature. I think college athletes are recognizing it more and more as well. Okay. Now, had he been a first-round projection, he probably would have gone and stayed and been drafted in the NBA draft. He's coming back to Nebraska. Now, here's what he is. He's someone who's going to help us for sure, or I wouldn't be talking about him. So it makes sense. All right, hopefully it does. But he's an elite shooter. He's a guy who is just an elite shooter. Things he needs to work on. That's how he can help us. Things he needs to work on. His playmaking ability with the ball in his hands. What can he do off the dribble? Okay, when you hit him with the open J, the open tray, things of that nature, he's elite. He needs to get better off the ball. He needs to get better with the ball in his hands as far as being able to dribble, make plays, find teammates, get open. Everybody has things they need to improve on. This young man is no different. Also on the defensive side of the ball would help as well. Now, he shot 40% from three-point range last season and came onto the Big Ten scene towards the end of the season. The question is, can he be more consistent throughout the whole season. It's interesting because I just had this talk with my son who's going to be going into 8th grade, and he's starting to get invites to some of these recruiting things. He's going to be playing on a national competitive tackle football team. And I remember I just told him last night, I was like, Jacob, two of the biggest things that I find that separate people from being good or from average to good, good to very good to great, great to elite: mental toughness and consistency. Consistency, not so easy for me to say, apparently. Consistency, there you go, is harder to do than it would seem. It's easy for somebody to be good every now and again. It's easy to have a great game and then fall off. It's easy to actually have a great season. There's a reason why NFL scouts want to see college football players for more than a year do really, really well. They want to see that consistency over time, because that is a challenge. For Casey, it's, can he do it for a whole season? That's the question. Can he get better at the things I talked about? Can he stay great as an elite shooter? I believe he can. I believe the answer to both those questions is yes. How much will he improve? And can he do it for a whole season? As I mentioned, he came on towards the end of the year. Can he do it for an entire basketball season? Because consistency, night in and night out, month after month for an entire season is a challenge. All right. I played with an individual. I won't say the team or anything like that, because if I do, it'll be pretty obvious who it is. He was very, very good in third down situations. He came on as a first-year guy, played great, numerous sacks, won awards. I remember when I was done with that team, I said, hey, man, now you got to do it down in and down out. You're not just going to come in on third downs where you know you're rushing the passer. You got to play the run on first down. You got to play the run and the pass on first and second down. Then you got to be in on goal line and short yards. You got to do it every play, game after game, practice after practice. It's easy when you just come in every once in a while. He was a good player his entire career, but he never did win awards again because he found out it was hard to be, and I'm not saying he wasn't a good player, but he was a young guy whose ceiling was incredibly high, and he played well. I don't know that he quite reached that ceiling because consistency is challenging. Mental toughness and consistency. And I'm not saying either of these guys weren't mentally tough, but these are the two things I've found to be the biggest difference makers and the hardest things to achieve: mental toughness and consistency, day after day after day after day after day. Do you go to your job every single day hyped and ready to go? Maybe, maybe not. Some people may find that challenging. That's just part of the process. All right. Now, Nebraska basketball, they have some more additions as well this upcoming season. Okay, Rink Mast, a Bradley transfer. Bryce Williams, a Charlotte transfer. All right, Josiah Alec, a New Mexico transfer. And Aaron Eulis, an Iowa transfer. Okay, plus the return, all right, of Keisei Tominaga. How's this season going to go? You know, so I went back before I want to go forward. All right, you look at Fred Hoiberg. Most of you probably already know this, so I'll go through it quickly. Two-time Big 12 tournament champion as a coach, 2014 and 15. Big 12 coach of the year, 2012. Spent multiple seasons at the NBA level with the Bulls. Okay. Since he's been at Nebraska, all right, 2019. Okay, we'll go through this quickly. 7 wins, 25 losses. All right, Big Ten record was 2-18 in 2019. 2020, 7-20 overall. Big Ten record, 3-16. That was a weird, unusual COVID season. Okay. 2021, 10-22. Big Ten 4-16 record. 2022, 16-16. Big Ten record of 9-11. So there was definite improvement a season ago. All right. Keep in mind, they won 5 of their last 7 games. The Big Red on the basketball court did. They beat Iowa twice. Beat Creighton. Those things matter. Matter to me anyways. Okay. Now, a season ago is the first time that they did not finish last or second to last in the Big Ten Conference since Coach Hoiberg came in. All right. They finished 11th overall. Okay. Now, total wins and losses, 40 wins, 83 losses. That's a win percentage of .325 in the Big Ten. Coach Hoiberg is 18-61 in the Big Ten Conference alone, which is a winning percentage of .228. Obviously not great. Are we trending in the right direction? Are we hitting that tipping point where he can start to take Nebraska basketball, okay, and get the program trending upwards in a more consistent direction? Now, I think with some of these new additions, I think with some of the returners that I've already talked about, I think there's reasons to be optimistic for that. I think those are legit. I'm not going to go dumping a bunch of red Kool-Aid or any color Kool-Aid all over myself just yet when it comes to Nebraska ball, Nebraska basketball, Nebraska ball. So for me, I have to define success because I do that a lot with the Nebraska football program. So I got to do it with Nebraska basketball. And the last time Nebraska basketball made the NIT tournament was the season before Coach Hoiberg got here, 2019. So 5 seasons ago. Okay, last time. It's been a while since we made the NCAA tournament. I'll leave that one alone. But here's my point. To me, success and getting the basketball program trending in the upwards direction is, okay, making an NCAA tournament game. We've never won one. Okay. All right. Getting back to the NIT, winning a couple of games, a game or two, since we haven't been to the tournament, the NIT tournament in a while. If we could win an NCAA, like a regular tournament game, let's be honest, that'd be like winning the Super Bowl. I know that sounds crazy. It also sounds like it would be winning the Super Bowl. I'm not trying to make light of anything, but getting the program trending in the right direction. We don't have to take huge, gigantic steps. Get back in the NIT tournament. Win a game or two. Make the NCAA tournament. You know, at some point, get that first NCAA tournament win. I think that would be quite exciting for Nebraska basketball, Nebraska ball, getting this program trending in the upwards right direction. To me, that is something that's feasible. That's something that's possible. We're going into year 5 under Coach Hoiberg. Last year, you saw signs, again, won 5 of the last 7 games, beat probably our 2 biggest rivals. Again, Iowa twice, also Creighton. So you saw signs of positivity. They finished with an overall 500 record, obvious room for improvement. I do think there are legit reasons to be somewhat optimistic coming into this season. When you have a lot of new faces, a lot of new transfers, you don't really quite know what's going to happen. But to me, that makes it more interesting. More interesting to watch, more interesting to look forward to. So let me know. All right. Again, call or text 402-464-5685. What are your thoughts on Nebraska basketball, the upcoming season? I know we've got some time. But in sports, there's the regular season, and then there's the off season where you're looking forward to the next regular season, no matter what the sport is. Especially tends to be that way in football, but it can be that way in basketball as well. All right. Now, let's talk a little bit of Nebraska football. What type of offense will Nebraska run? And when I ask that, we know they want to be more smash mouth. We know they want to be more physical. We know they want to run the ball. We know there's going to be a fullback. I think what I'm asking when I ask that particular question on this particular day on this show, I'm more or less asking, how often are we going to use the fullback? We know they want to huddle. We know they want to use tight ends. How many tight ends can they use? Can they go 12 personnel, one running back, 2 tights? Can they go 21 personnel? A fullback, running back, or 2 backs in the backfield, period. Typically fullback, running back, and a tight end. Do they want to go more spread? Do they want to go 13? Okay. Running back with 3 wide receivers. Do they want to run a more spread type offense? Do they want to maybe go back and forth? To me, the first question we got to answer is how many quality tight ends do we have? All right. Walk on Nate Borkashire, sophomore, right now is the projected starter at tight end. Talked about this before. Talk about it again because you got Thomas Fedoni, Eric Gilbert, highly recruited guys. Can we get 2 tight ends to step up? Maybe 3. I don't know that we're going to run a full offense with 3 tight ends on the field all the time, but when appropriate, goal line short yardage. Can we put a 3rd tight end on the field and knock people off the ball like Vershawn Jackson talked about when I brought him on a few weeks ago? He talked about, number 1, not catching the ball. He talked about you got to block. You got to be willing to block. This is a former 3-time national champion who has a phenomenal show on this same radio station, by the way. Check it out. Vershawn, T. Farley do a great job. Talking about you got to block people. You got to be blue collar, in your face, smash mouth first. Who wants to block first? And then can you get open and catch a ball? You look at Jeff Sims, because he's a guy that I could see running a spread attack with obviously the read option being a possibility. I could see him running an offense with more tight ends on the field, more fullbacks. You can do various things with his skill set. I don't know that we're going to go back to the old school option maybe once in a while. I don't know about all the time. But you can do several things with him. I think it depends on who steps up around him. How many tight ends step up? How often do we run a fullback based on how successful the fullback is when he's on the field? How many receivers are going to step up? Again, we need someone not named Billy Kemp to step up. He looked great in the spring game. But I want to see other guys stepping up in case we do want to go spread, in case we do want to run a little bit more read option and things of that nature. Even throwing the ball a little bit more. We need more targets. Guys like Marcus Washington, Xavier Betts, glad to have you back on the team. You're a talented dude. Oh, I'm excited to see what he can do on the field this fall. You look at true freshman Malachi Coleman, you never know what you're going to get out of a true freshman. He is talented. There are younger guys making more and more plays than there ever has been in college football. There was a time when a sophomore never won the Heisman Trophy. Not so long ago, a guy named Tim Tebow came along. A freshman had never won the Heisman Trophy. A guy named Johnny Manziel came along. These are all within the past 15 years. College football has been going on for well over a century. Younger and younger players are making a bigger impact earlier and earlier and more often than we've ever seen. Now, I'm not saying Malachi is going to come in and set the world on fire. He's still a true freshman. But I'm curious to see what he can do. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, a guy who showed flashes at times, entered the transfer portal, came back earlier this offseason. He showed flashes. He showed ability. If my memory serves me correctly, he had a couple of fumbles as well, but he's still a young guy learning. Can he grow into someone that we can trust? Can he develop into someone we can trust this year? Here's another question I've got, and I alluded to this a little bit earlier. Who's our backup quarterback and how reliable is he? Because we haven't had a truly reliable backup quarterback here at Nebraska for a while. When you don't have that, you have to protect your starter, which limits the type of plays you can call, especially when you have a running quarterback like Jeff Sims. Are we going to be able to call the best play whenever we need it? Or do we have a little bit of a limited playbook because we have to protect Jeff because someone hasn't stepped up as a true backup? That's another question that needs to be answered. Heinrich Harburg, Chubba Purdy, talented dudes. Okay, everyone's seen what Chubba's brother has done with the Niners. Okay, Heinrich, I've talked about what I've seen from him. Prototypical size, deceptive speed, big arm. Okay, how much can they develop this offseason? Can one of them truly develop into a backup quarterback so we can run the plays that we need to run when we need to run them with Jeff Sims without a fear of banging him up? Because if he gets a little banged up, we got someone to come in. Or do we have to protect him, which limits the playbook? All right. Then you go into the offensive line just a little bit. How are they going to look? How much better are they going to be? Okay. Can we trust the offensive line? Teddy Prohaska is a big, talented kid who looked really good. If my memory serves me correctly, obviously coming back off injury. Okay. He's expected to be ready to help produce, and produce by an offensive lineman's standards is hopefully some pancakes, protecting the quarterback, opening some holes. Okay. But his best game, if memory serves me correctly, because he's still a young guy, was against Northwestern a season or two ago, a Northwestern team that wasn't great. So he's still a little bit unproven. Okay, so we want to keep that in mind, while I myself still have high expectations for him. Nurdine Newilly, probably our best guard out a year ago, back. Okay. I believe he's going to be one of our best, if not our best, offensive lineman. You look at a guy like Ben Scott, transfer from Arizona State. He looked good in the spring game. He really did. Now, is he that good, or do we need help up front on the defensive line? That's the question with that. Turner Corcoran, Bryce Benhart, will one of those two develop into a consistent starter that we can trust? Both talented guys. Big dudes, highly recruited. Okay. Will someone else step up? All right. You got Henry Lutovsky, Jacob Hood, Ethan Piper, multiple guys I haven't even listed. I can't list every guy in the room. Step up. Give me a reason to chat about you. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. And here's why I bring all this up. The more spread the offense is, the more exposed your quarterback can be and susceptible to getting hit. Do we have to have multiple tight ends on the field? Do we have to have the fullback on the field? Do we have to call plays to protect our quarterback because we're not able to in just a typical play that we want to call? Do we have to run certain formations and call certain types of plays that are going to protect our starting quarterback if we are not blocking well? If we are blocking well, that opens up the playbook a lot more. If we have tight ends who step up, that opens up the formations a lot more. Wide receivers, fullbacks. Okay, if we have a backup quarterback that steps up, that opens up the playbook. I am so excited to see a lot of these position battles come fall camp. It's getting closer, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting closer. Who's going to step up? Who's going to make an impact? Who's going to make a difference? Who's going to help make the coach's life easier? So when I say, what type of offense are we going to run? We know we want to run the ball first. Matt Rule has made that clear. Love that. Excited about that. Can't wait for it. How often can we go spread? What types of personnel and positions can we have on the field based on who steps up, and how does that limit the playbook, and what type of depth do we have at certain positions? Let me know. Hit me up. Text, call 402-464-5685. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Join us on Tuesday, June 6th at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 40th and Old Cheney for Customer Appreciation Day. Enjoy 59-cent wings all day and your favorite sports talk show host on the air from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come hang out with us for Customer Appreciation Day on Tuesday, June 6th at the 40th and Old Cheney Buffalo Wings and Rings.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club, or space club, and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco basket. Grab the crew and head on over Monday night or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
May 1st through 31st, enroll your eligible smart thermostat in the LES Peak Rewards program. You'll earn participation incentives while helping to reduce electric usage. Learn more and sign up at les.com/peak rewards.
Need service on your home air conditioner? Call the company Lincoln has counted on since 1952, Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. No matter what brand you have, when you need service, you want Bryant's experienced pros working for you. Friendly NATE certified technicians with the tools, training, and technology to restore your comfort quickly. No matter what brand, when you need service, just call Bryant. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Honk if you love trucks and bucks. Hold it if you're in traffic, maybe not. Hey, we know you've been waiting for a while, but we're excited to announce that Trucks and Bucks is finally back. And this year, we're giving away 8 Atlas Blue 2023 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew Flex Fuel trucks. So get to your nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer and play $2 Trucks and Bucks today. Ford F-150 is a registered trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Top prize odds, 1 in 336,000.
Hi, I'm a volleyball. It's an okay life. I go back and forth about it. But I really wish I was a Nebraska Lottery Powerball or Mega Millions Mega Ball. See, all they have to do is mix around in a big plastic bubble and roll down a ramp, and then people win millions. What a great life. As for me, I get thrown around all day and have to worry about getting spiked, which is about to happen right now. Oh, ow! Couldn't you just do a nice, gentle tip?
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Old School with DP and J.
Remember, we still got to factor in the offensive line, the receivers we don't know about.
I'm looking at individual here. Chuba has not done anything to date here.
He's been a starter here.
Oh, and
he's been a starter.
Okay, and
that's one more.
Two coaches got fired.
He didn't get him fired. Look, Chuba ain't the reason why.
I'm not saying he get fired, but he didn't do anything. He didn't stop me from bringing in Jeff Sims.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Carriker on The Ticket. Now, Nebraska fullback, former Nebraska fullback Andy Janovich will be joining me shortly. I called him 2 days ago to confirm he'd be able to come on the show. The guy's living the good life. He's floating down the river on a boat drinking a beer when he answered. First of all, he answered. In a busy situation like that, I might have personally waited, but he's a good dude. And I have been told that he's ready to join us. Living the good life, joining hopefully a halfway decent show. All right, Mr. Andy Janovich. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, I appreciate you joining me. All right, so former Nebraska fullback, Denver Bronco, Cleveland Brown, played that phenomenal position known as fullback. I got to know, what did you think when you found out? Okay, I'm actually going to ask a harder question before I get to the more fun question. What, a few years ago, when our previous coach, Scott Frost, made it clear that he was not going to have a fullback on the roster anymore. Again, this is the more challenging question before we get to the funner question. What was your reaction at that time?
I was a little saddening, to be honest with you. Sorry, my brother just jumped in. I'm at work right now, and he wants to join the show, I guess. But no, it's a little disheartening, honestly. I mean, it's such a tradition in Nebraska, the fullbacks. Between, Tom Rathman, the Makovickas, Schlesinger, and, a handful more. It's just the fact that he even cut it out. It's like, what the hell are you doing? And look what he did. Not much.
So let me ask you this question. And this is the more fun question, because Matt Rule has made it clear he's bringing back the fullback. The first play in the spring game, he handed it off to the fullback, then gave the ball to a former Nebraska great fullback and coach, Coach Solich. My question for you, when you heard that we were bringing back the fullback, what were your thoughts on that? What was your reaction then?
I heard about that. I don't know who's playing the position or anything. I haven't been keeping up, to be honest with you, all that much. So, but yeah.
Just knowing that we're going to have a fullback, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm stoked about it. I just hope they use them the right way. I think a lot of people have a fullback and just don't know how to utilize them or use them at all. So it's just, if you can use them, great. If not, then why bother?
So what would you do differently with a fullback, having been a really good fullback in your day? What would you do differently with that fullback position than what you see most other people are currently doing with it?
Well, I think kind of like the H-back position a little bit. And, you can bump them out and like a slot receiver, or a one position at that, or honestly, you could a lot of things, just slice blocks, whatever, just move them around the field, keep the defense guessing. A lot of people just use fullback, short yardage or goal line. So I think you just keep them on the field at all times, like kind of like a tight end, but a little different. Typically, fullbacks are better at blocking than tight ends, but fullbacks can't catch like a tight end. So I mean, you just gotta find ways to use them. Like San Francisco, the 49ers use that guy unbelievably well. I mean, he can do anything. He can play quarterback if they ask him. It's just hard finding guys that are just like him, but I think you've got to mix it up a little bit. Just put them all over the field and keep the defense guessing.
So if I'm hearing you right, you're saying that fullbacks are tougher than tight ends. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what you said?
No, by far.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
There's no question about that.
Now I've got ammo for Vershawn. I'm coming at you, V-Jack. All right. I got to ask you this question, though, because you're right. Fullbacks, they're used sporadically at best when they are used. So I got to ask you, what's it like being a fullback? And you're not in on every play. You have to be ready to go at all times yet. And when you're in, you're usually smashing full speed into a linebacker, with each of you having about a 5-yard or 15-yard head start. And then every once in a while, you get the ball. What is that like?
You pretty well got to stay ready. I've had games where I played 30 snaps. I've had games where I played 2 snaps. So, I mean, by the end of it, you're still just as tired as if you played the entire game, even if you only played the 2 snaps, because the entire time you're pacing up and down the sidelines, or you're on the bike, you're doing something just to stay ready, because you just never know. You have no idea. But then another big part with fullbacks, we're special teams guys. I mean, without special teams, there would be no fullbacks in the NFL, just because we're not used well enough. So, I mean, you just got to stay ready at all times.
So that was a perfect segue into the very next question I have right here in front of me on the sheet of paper. How big of an impact can a fullback or fullbacks make on special teams? And here's something people might not know about you specifically. Your senior year, you led Nebraska in total special teams tackles. Okay. And so when I think of fullbacks on special teams, even me, I think of kickoff return. I think of punt protection. But obviously, you guys can tackle as well. So an overall whole on special teams, how big of an impact can fullbacks make? Because this is actually something I've talked about in the past, but you've actually lived it. So tell us about that.
Well, it's huge. Obviously, I walked on to Nebraska, or if people didn't know that, I walked on, and they always said that the coaches, hey, you know what, special teams players, or not special teams players, walk-ons make their living on special teams. That's how you're going to see the field. You'll more than likely never see the field unless it's special teams. So I just really got invested in trying to, be a special recruiter and just do everything I could to help the team out and, just even see the field. And it's huge. Like I said, fullbacks don't play a lot, so they got to contribute somewhere. So you got to be able to do so it's got to be everything. Whatever they want, you got to give it.
So here's a question. I don't know that I've ever asked anybody. I've obviously known a lot of fullbacks and linebackers in my day, but this is the first time I'm actually going to ask somebody. And especially during my time at Nebraska, I saw guys switch from linebacker to fullback to linebacker, back and forth. Guys would go. Now, Cody Glenn, he was a running back, one of the most powerful running backs I've ever had to tackle. Ended up contributing a lot on defense as a linebacker. My former roommate went from fullback, Andy Cadavy, a walk-on from Seward. And if most people don't know this, he pretty much spent Like, he finished freshman through senior year, was there day in and day out, one of the toughest dudes I've ever known. But he basically practiced and played with a majority of the time legally blind in one eye. But he went from fullback to linebacker. And then I watched other guys go from linebacker to fullback. Well, what makes a good fullback versus a good linebacker is the question I'm getting at.
I'm sorry, you cut out. Good fullback what?
What makes a good fullback versus a good linebacker? Like, why can a guy who can play linebacker or fullback, why do they sometimes go play linebacker, and or why do they sometimes go play fullback? What's the difference? What makes a good fullback versus a good linebacker?
That's a good question, actually.
Well, I was hoping you'd know the answer, man.
I played linebacker in high school. Nebraska was the only school that wanted me to play fullback. That's a great question. I don't know. I think fullbacks are just quiet guys typically. Don't want to talk to anyone, but they'll be your best friend. But the mean time, I'm sure linebackers, most of them are like that too. They're hard-nosed guys. But that's a great question. I've never really thought about that actually ever.
You actually make an interesting point when you talk about temperament or personality. Every fullback I've ever known is a little bit more on the quiet side. Not that they won't speak when they want to. I haven't spent a ton of time around you, but when you helped at my football camp a few years ago, you were a little bit more on the quiet side, but would speak whenever you wanted to. Corey Schlesinger is a little bit more on the quiet side. Dr. Dane Todd, Mr. 4.0. Everything I say goes above his head. Hi, Dane. How you doing? He was probably the most vocal fullback we ever had. You're right. Fullbacks tend to be a little bit more quiet, whereas linebackers, not always, maybe a little bit more vocal. Does it have anything to do with that? Am I just grasping for straws here, Andy? What do you think?
Maybe. Linebackers, you got the Mike Line. He's pretty much the voice of the defense, like the quarterback. So I think linebackers have a little bit more say. They're just like, quarterbacks, and fullbacks just like, all right, you get in for a play and get the hell out of here. So it's like, all right, well, see you guys. Not a lot to say.
I could see that. Yeah, Mike linebackers. Go
yeah,
ahead.
we're so underutilized, or a lot of teams don't even have a fullback, so it's like you don't play a whole lot. It's like I can't really say a ton to everybody else. The guys that are playing 60, 70 snaps a game.
I could definitely see that. Obviously, the Mike linebacker, like you said, he's kind of the quarterback of the defense way more often than not. Like Corey McEwen was definitely not quiet. London Fletcher in DC, definitely not quiet. Will Witherspoon with the Rams, definitely not quiet. So definitely Mike linebacker's got to be a little bit more vocal. So I'm with you there. I actually have a question from a fan, the notorious BIB. He wants to know, Andy, how big was the transition from playing fullback in college to the NFL?
Actually, it wasn't quite as big as the jump from high school to college. College, actually, it was pretty. You got bigger, tougher guys everywhere in the NFL, but high school you can just play teams all the time, and they're just pretty crappy, and you just moan over these guys that are farm boys. They weigh 170 pounds or whatever it might be. Then you get to college, and everybody's big and tough. It's like, oh well, you can't really take a lot of time off here. Then obviously the jump from college to the NFL is a little bit more, but you're kind of used to that transition. There's no dweebs in there, if that's the right word to say. No little turds or whatever. You got tough guys everywhere in college and NFL. In high school, you just got a bunch of guys that don't even want to be there half the time. The coach saw them in the hallway and said, hey, you're going to play football today.
A lot of truth in that. There's a lot of guys who are out there because their friends are out there, or because mommy and daddy want them out there, or it's cool to wear the football jersey to the mall, or at least they think it is, but it's really not. So I'm with you on that. By the way, I'm not saying that from experience, although I 100% am. I couldn't believe when I saw a group of guys walking down the hallway in their high school jersey like they were super cool, but 24 hours before that, they were like doing nothing. Anyways, I digress on a Friday night. Talk to me about this. And there's one play that sticks out in my mind, but obviously I'm not Andy Janovich. So, Andy, what is your most memorable play during your time at Nebraska, for you specifically?
Oh man, for me, it's probably against Iowa. I was a freshman, and I just mowed over one of their linebackers. It was the most impressive block I've ever had in my life, in my opinion. I think it was number 26 from Iowa. It was just a kick out block on the edge, and they had Will linebacker on the edge, and we met head to head, and I'm not kidding you. I put this guy on his butt 5 yards back, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
I love it. And you know what? The play I was thinking of, I think it was Wisconsin. I could be wrong. You'll know better than me. You got the handoff up the middle. You broke through and you ran for like a 50, 60-yard touchdown at Memorial Stadium, and the crowd went crazy. Was that Wisconsin? Do you remember?
I remember that. I blacked out a little bit during it, but I remember it.
So I love your answer. That's such a
player too. But.
Yeah, that's such a fullback answer. It wasn't the touchdown run. It was the block where I destroyed the guy. I love that answer. All right. Last question I got for you, Andy. What's retired life like for you, and what are you up to nowadays, my friend?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a lot more stressful than NFL paycheck. So, making a living is a little tougher.
Yep.
Working construction, started a roofing company actually 2 months ago. Just Andy Janovich roofing. So nothing crazy, but working 12 hours a day for my brother, and I'm sweating my crotch off right now. Thank goodness you called me, so I got a little AC time, but it's brutal. I've lost like 30 pounds. It's crazy.
What are you weighing nowadays?
I'm back down to 220, back in my college days. Those weights.
Nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll give him a free shout out because he's a great player, a good dude, and a friend of the show. Andy Janovich Roofing. If you get hail damage, if you get holes in your roof, hit up Andy Janovich Roofing. Is there a website they can go to or a number they can call, Andy?
We got a number. It's 531-205-6676.
All right. You heard it. Andy Janovich Roofing. Also, don't forget to check out GE Landscape and Supply at gelandscapeandsupply.com. And for more information, call them at 402-467-1627. Thank you for joining me, my friend, and have a great day. And I'll check you next time, Andy.
Yep, I appreciate it. Thank you, Adam.
All right. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gents. We'll be right back.
Honk if you love trucks and bucks. Hold it if you're in traffic, maybe not. Hey, we know you've been waiting for a while, but we're excited to announce that Trucks and Bucks is finally back. And this year, we're giving away 8 Atlas Blue 2023 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew Flex Fuel trucks. So get to your nearest Nebraska lottery retailer and play $2 Trucks and Bucks today. Ford F-150 is a registered trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Top prize odds, 1 in 336,000.
Hi, I'm a volleyball. It's an okay life. I go back and forth about it. But I really wish I was a Nebraska Lottery Powerball or Mega Millions Mega Ball. All they have to do is mix around in a big plastic bubble and roll down a ramp, and then people win millions. What a great life. As for me, I get thrown around all day and have to worry about getting spiked, which is about to happen right now. Oh, ow! Couldn't you just do a nice, gentle tip?
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Need service on your home air conditioner? Call the company Lincoln has counted on since 1952. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. No matter what brand you have, when you need service, you want Bryant's experienced pros working for you. Friendly NATE certified technicians with the tools, training, and technology to restore your comfort quickly. No matter what brand, when you need service, just call Bryant. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club or space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Adam Carriker on The Ticket each and every Monday. Well, the past couple of weeks has been every other Monday, but barring important high school sports and or important national holidays, each and every Monday from noon to 1 p.m. Central Time here on The Ticket, the fastest hour in radio each and every week throughout Lincoln, Omaha, and the great state of Nebraska. Come have lunch with me each and every Monday. All right, real quick, check out gelandscapingsupply.com. Also, hit them up, 402-467-1627, ladies and gentlemen. Last couple topics I got for you for today. All right, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Wish them nothing but the best. Got nothing but love for them. Casey Thompson, Logan Smothers, where they ended up. Oh, but actually, I want to give a quick shout out and thank you to Andy for joining us. Now, Andy's a fairly quiet guy every time I've ever been around him. I much enjoyed that interview. I love that he voiced his opinion, and I love that he was willing to do so. Not everybody's always willing to do that, whether you agree or disagree. So I love that. Thank you, Andy. Thank you for every guest who's joined me so far and anybody who is willing to join me going forward on this program on Mondays. Now, Casey Thompson, Florida Atlantic, that's where he's landed. Logan Smothers, Jacksonville State in Alabama, where Rich Rodriguez is. Again, not going to spend too much time on this. Wish him nothing but the best. I just hadn't commented on this yet, and I want to do so quickly. Casey's obviously going to be the starter there. He's probably going to set that conference on fire. Okay, this is a dude who led the Big 12 in touchdowns a couple years ago, a dude who was clearly our best quarterback a season ago. You saw what happened when he wasn't on the field. This is a very talented guy, okay? And I think he's going to do great things at Florida Atlantic. I will admit this. I was surprised it wasn't another Power 5 school because that's the kind of talent and ability that Casey has. And obviously, as a Nebraska fan, selfishly, I would have loved to have had him come back, but he's going somewhere where he's going to do really, really well. Wish him the best. Logan Smothers. Once we had learned that Casey was going to FAU, I was really hoping Logan would come back, although he landed in a great spot for himself. Jacksonville State in an offense that's going to fit him perfectly under Rich Rodriguez. That spread, read option offense, he can show off those wheels, that leg. He's a fairly accurate passer as well, makes pretty good decisions. He's going to have an opportunity to show what he can do in a system that fits him well. Had he come back, he would have been the perfect guy to maybe push Jeff Sims for the starting job, but if not, the perfect guy to back him up based on Logan's skill set, because it was by far the most similar skill set to Jeff Sims of any other quarterback that we had on the roster. Alas, it does not happen. I wish those two nothing but the absolute best. Just wanted to comment on that real quickly. All right, some kickoff times have been announced around college football for some games next fall. All right. Nebraska will play Colorado at 10 a.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Central. If you're not great at time zones, that's noon Eastern time. Okay, I am an individual who knows people. I grew up on the West Coast. Obviously, I know people in Central time zone. I still do a lot of business with people on the East Coast. Know a ton of folks in Mountain time. I am constantly dealing with time zones. I am crazily good at dealing with time zones. I always just mark Central time no matter who I'm texting. I finally adopted that. Okay, even if I'm talking to my parents who live in the state of Washington. I was born in Hastings, lived there until I was 3. Dad's job took me to the state of Washington, so that's where I grew up. It doesn't matter who I'm talking to. It's always Central time zone to make my life easy. But when people are texting me, it's all over the place. 10 a.m. Mountain time versus Colorado. The perfect time slot. Why? Because it's a game people want to watch. But it's not exactly two dominant programs as of late, so you're not going to get a later time slot. And you're not going to bump some of the other out-of-conference games, some of the big-time matchups that are going on against teams that have been more successful. So this is the perfect time slot. We can get a lot of eyeballs on us. There's going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of people watching, albeit two programs that haven't done phenomenal lately. So this time slot makes a lot of sense. I'm immensely, just like everybody else, looking forward to this game. One of the things I'm interested in seeing, just how badly do we take over Colorado's home field in the stadium with that sea of red. Okay, I believe we crashed the website the other day buying tickets. Was anybody surprised? Not me. Looking forward to that. The sea of red in your house, Boulder, Colorado. Now we got Iowa. 11 a.m. Central time, to be clear. Black Friday. I think we all knew that was coming. Okay, I love the fact, I mean, it's for years. It was Thanksgiving Day for years against Oklahoma. Then it turned to the day after Thanksgiving, and we started playing Colorado, and then it turned into Iowa, and then they tried to put Minnesota as our last game. Thank God we got that changed. Okay, instead they're our first game, Thursday night. All right, looking forward to that as well. How's Matt Rule's squad come out? Game 1, day 1. Going to be fun. Iowa, Black Friday. I hope that never changes. I hope we get a few more wins and turn this into a true rivalry. All right, I'm looking forward to both those. Both those games, both those kickoff times make a lot of sense. Now, I got one other topic I really, really wanted to get into. There's no way I'm going to get all the way into it in 90 seconds, even as fast as I talk, which is saying something. So I'll give a little bit of a teaser for next week. And this is something I've talked about elsewhere, but I've never talked about it here. And that's the Big Ten's new media deal with NBC for $350 million. That's a lot of money. In NBC and Peacock's mind, they've come out and said this is the most excited they've been about a sports deal that they've made since the NFL package that they got in 2005. So I'm going to talk about that. How does the Big Ten keep expanding? How does the Big Ten take over college football? I've got some ideas. All right. I will see you fine folks next week, and we'll chat about that. There's a teaser. Have a great week, and I'll see you in 7 days. Go Big Red, and always remember, go the Bugs.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Honk if you love trucks and bucks. Hold it if you're in traffic, maybe not. Hey, we know you've been waiting for a while, but we're excited to announce that Trucks and Bucks is finally back. And this year, we're giving away 8 Atlas Blue 2023 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew Flex Fuel trucks. So get to your nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer and play $2 Trucks and Bucks today. Ford F-150 is a registered trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company. Top prize odds, 1 in 336,000.
Hi, I'm a volleyball. It's an okay life. I go back and forth about it. But I really wish I was a Nebraska Lottery Powerball or Mega Millions Mega Ball. See, all they have to do is mix around in a big plastic bubble and roll down a ramp, and then people win millions. What a great life. As for me, I get thrown around all day and have to worry about getting spiked, which is about to happen right now. Oh, ow! Couldn't you just do a nice, gentle tip?
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415, or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across